Hi guys, it's Julia and I'm back, and I don't know if this video is gonna make it onto my YouTube channel because I have class in approximately 35 minutes, but I really felt the immense need to come on here and talk and give you guys a little update and talk about what I want to talk about. So first of all, I hope you all are doing great. I am personally doing better than I was the last episode I came on here and recorded. The thing is, I've recorded some episodes since then, but I've just not wanted to share them on here because they kind of felt fake to me, or I didn't want to process my emotions at the time, and I didn't want to edit them and come off as dishonest. And I know not a lot of people currently are watching these podcasts anyways, but still, like, to the 10 people who have been keeping up with these, it's important to me to at least be honest about how I'm processing certain things, so I didn't want to be dishonest. But today I kind of wanted to catch you guys up on how I've been doing and kind of give you some tips and tricks if you are in the same situations as me. So as you know, I've moved abroad approximately 3 months ago, and I wanted to talk about some things that I didn't expect to feel when I came here and things that I'm trying to grow from and process in these 3 months and in the months to come. So first of all, when I was first moving here, I did not acknowledge the fact that I was gonna miss any part of the place where I moved from. If you don't know, I moved from Istanbul. And at the time, I did know that I have friends who loved me and friends who I loved and people who I appreciated in my life, but I just didn't acknowledge the fact that we were that close. I didn't think that we cared about each other that deeply. For me, it was just like, oh yeah, like I have friends, I love them, they love me too, but like it's fine, it's not that deep. And then when I came here, I expected to have the same experience that I had in my first year of college. And if you don't know, in the first year of college, I just immediately made friends without no hardships of any sorts. And I've talked about this with a lot of people who came from different countries. They all have been telling me the same things, such as, yeah, I have friends, but I don't really feel close to them. Yeah, I have friends, but it's not like we're hanging out all the time. I don't feel like extremely close to them as I would have felt with my friends from back home. And obviously, you're not gonna feel super close to people you just met like a couple months ago. But at the same time, I think this has to do with just moving and feeling misunderstood, which I have felt a lot. Like, I thankfully have met some people who I can be myself around, but mostly it's just I just feel like I'm losing a bit of my personality in some of these friendships because I just don't these people don't know me, and I don't think I am used to people not knowing me because my friends, we've known each other for a long time, or I've already told them about everything that went on in my life. And now with these more casual friendships, it's weird to me that they don't understand some parts of my humor, or they don't get some of my jokes, or they just don't know the context of why I do certain things that I do. And that's weird to me because I think I've gotten way too used to being understood. And so ever since I came here, I've kind of been missing my friends a lot more and kind of appreciating them a lot more, which honestly is not that much of a bad thing. Kind of makes you appreciate what you had, or kind of notice the things that you didn't used to notice in those types of friendships. Like, I realized that my college friendships were way deeper than I thought they were. I realized that these friends I can still call, and I honestly didn't expect to be calling and FaceTiming these people that much, but it was a really nice surprise to be able to understand that these friends aren't just gone, they're still there, we still care about each other, and it's nice to talk to and have sometimes. But at the same time, this has gave me another struggle. In the first month or so, I was FaceTiming a lot of my friends from back home. Like, and when I say a lot, I mean, at the second I get home, I would call someone up. The second I would leave the house while walking, I would call someone up. And as much as that made me feel good in the moment, it kind of also held me back. And because I was also kind of struggling with adapting to a new culture, a new language, which I am still trying to learn, and new people, new characters in my life, a new apartment, this FaceTiming and always talking with my quote unquote old friends kind of was holding me back. It was like I had one leg back in Turkey and another leg here, and I was like, oh my God, why am I not adapting to my new life? It really took me a good amount of time, and I'm still not 100% there, but it took me like a good month, the middle month, I would say, to fully be like, yes, this is your life now. Because I really struggled with the thought of leaving my old life behind and being like, I just kept thinking about it over and over again. It came to be this obsessive thought in my head of, oh my God, my other life is gone now and I'm never gonna get it back. My friends are gone. All the people I've loved are gone now and I will never get to see them again. And it was so black and white in my head. And it was like, every time I went somewhere with anyone here, I would just be like, where am I? Where the fuck am I? Who are these people? What am I doing here? And the more I got into that and the more I kept being extremely in touch with my friends from back home, it just did not work out in my favor. It just held me in this same tiny little spot and spiral of, oh my God, I miss my life. Oh my God, my life is over. Oh my God, how am I gonna adapt? I don't know where I am. I don't know what I'm doing. And I needed to kind of have a break from these thoughts. Sometimes you really do need a reality check. You do need to slap your face. You do need to slap yourself in the face in a nice way and be like, hey, it's not that black and white. Your old life, there is no such thing as your old life. It's still your life. It's just 2 months ago, you know? And life is just, sometimes it's so stable and sometimes so much change comes at the same time. And then you get all freaked out, even though personally, I was begging for change in the past 2 years. I would sit at home and beg the universe and be like, please, this is way too much stability. I'm too much in my comfort zone. Please let me out of here. I would sit and beg and cry and journal about this. And then when I did get the change that I wanted, it was so scary and so overwhelming. And I wished for everything that I hated back. I was like, please, I just want to be in my apartment for one more day. I just want to be with my friends for one more day. And honestly, right now, when I still think about my birthday this year, I still tear up. Because personally, I never had like a really good, loving birthday in my whole entire life. And this birthday specifically, oh my God, I am actually gonna tear up. But this birthday in specific was the first one in my 21 years of living, which I actually felt loved, I felt appreciated, and it was perfect to me. And it was the perfect goodbye, and it was the perfect end of an era, I would say. But still, now when I think about it, I'm like, oh my God, am I ever gonna get that back? But I just realized that to get through this time, I need to shift my perspective. And that's why I didn't want to come on here and make a video about this without have had shifted my perspective even just a little bit. Now I try to look at it in a way where, and I know this may seem simple or even too cliche, but I try to look at it in a way where, like, yeah, that may not happen again. I may not have those exact people at that exact same spot in that exact same table. And this is something I really struggle with because I do get attached to places and people way too much, specifically that one bar. Anyways, but I may have new opportunities. I may make new friends. And maybe right now I don't feel like I am, or I don't feel like I have these intimate, deep connections with people. But those deep, intimate connections sometimes don't happen overnight. And sometimes the ones that happen overnight don't last. So it's okay that I don't have those people around me right now. It's okay that I'm not in a very safe place or comfortable place in my life right now. It just opened up a brand new space in my life, which I didn't used to have before, and I prayed for and I wanted. Now, my life is kind of an empty slate. Now I have space for more friends. I have space for new bars that I like. I have space for more people in my life and new experiences, and maybe bad ones, maybe good ones, because the more you think about it, the more you're gonna go deeper down that hole, and that's not gonna do anything for any of us. It is important to list your fears down. I would say it is important to kind of write them down, be like, yes, this is what I'm scared of. This is what's keeping me up at night. But then going forward from that. And then after writing all of this down, maybe just trying to look forward. And it does seem so simple, doesn't it? I thought it was before I was actually living this. Well, when you actually experience this, looking forward is kind of hard. Looking forward means letting go of a lot of like specific beliefs that you have about your life. It's letting go of people, letting go of your memories. Moving forward does not mean to let go. Sometimes you don't have to fully let go of things to keep moving forward. And I say this not to try and convince you not to let go of things that are bad for you or not to let go at all. That's also a big burden to carry on your back, honestly, all the time. But what even is letting go? Is it not thinking about it anymore? Is it not reminiscing about it? Is letting go forgetting all that it ever happened, dismissing it? I personally don't think so. I think letting go is just a part of detaching from something. It's being able to sit here and say, yeah, that happened. It was lovely. And yeah, it still makes me emotional sometimes. But that's not where I'm at right now. And I have to continue my life in order to see if that life was meant for me. And clearly, because I am here, maybe right now it's not meant for me. Mind you, this can be valid for not only places, but friendships, relationships, and honestly, countries too. Like, I haven't done a podcast in a long time. My words are not coming out in the way that I would like them to, but I'm trying my hardest. But sometimes I think you need to push aside the whole concept of letting go. And on another note, I think I've made the mistake in the past where I've just sat with my feelings way too often. I was going through a very rough time 1 year back. I just thought that because everyone was telling me, yeah, you have to sit with your feelings. Yeah, you have to feel your feelings in your body. I just sat and cried for 3 months straight. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I just sat there, I journaled, I watched videos about my situation, I listened to podcasts, and I sat staring at the walls in my apartment. It did not do shit. Okay, it did give me a lot of self-reflection, which I'm very grateful for. It did help me grow a lot. But now I realize that you kind of have to have a balance of how to process certain things. Like me moving here, me letting go of a lot of people in my life, not letting go, but like having to kind of move forward and continue my life here. Because if I stay at home here and stare at the walls, then nothing's going to get better because I'm not out there living my life and changing the things that I want to change. For example, if I don't have meaningful relationships or meaningful friendships in my life, I can't sit at home and cry about it, because how am I supposed to make friends? How am I supposed to meet people if I'm just in my room? Or if I'm unhappy with my career, if I'm unhappy with what I'm doing in my academic life, how am I supposed to get better if I'm just stuck at home thinking about this over and over again? And by the way, I'm not saying that you don't have to think about it and that you shouldn't think about it. You should. And honestly, I'm kind of the last person to sit here and be like, yes, just continue your life. You don't have to think about it that much, because I do think about a lot of things a lot of the time. And I do have moments and months of my life where I try to avoid all feelings possible. We're human. It happens. But at the end of the day, you have to kind of listen to yourself. And I always misunderstood that saying. To me, listening to myself was always like journaling and shadow work and just like, oh, what happened when I was 5 years old that made me the way I am right now? Honestly, yeah, awareness is nice, but awareness is not healthy if you don't know what to do with it. And I struggled with that for a very long time. I thought I was so self-aware. I was so aware of why I am the way I am. I was so aware of what situations led me to be acting in certain ways. But that awareness, I just could not turn it into action. And that's where you get stuck. And where I am still kind of stuck sometimes. Because at the end of the day, listening to yourself is not just that. Listening to yourself is, oh, I'm kind of hungover today. If I stay home today, I will probably be in a lower mood than I would like to be, and I won't be as productive as I want to be, and I have an assignment due tomorrow. So listening to myself would be like, oh, maybe let me go get some coffee by myself and take my laptop with me and kind of look over what I have to do there. Because I know if I stay home, I'm not going to do that. And that's listening to yourself, in my opinion. That's caring for yourself. And caring for yourself isn't always like, oh, I'm tired, let me sleep today. Sometimes it is. But sometimes you need to think about your future self as well. It's like change doesn't happen when change doesn't happen. So you might think like, what the fuck? That's the cringiest thing I've ever heard. Of course, change doesn't happen when change doesn't happen. But this kind of leads me back to listening to your future self as well as your present self. It's like, if you're tired and you need some rest right now, hell yeah. But also, if you're unhappy with your life and you're not willing to change any habits right now, that means you're going to be unhappy with your life 1 year later as well. Because how are you supposed to get to where you want to be when you don't do anything to change your current situation? And these things don't have to be the biggest things in the world. They don't have to be like, yeah, like today I'm gonna do all my homework or whatever you have going on, or today I'm gonna deep clean my room and then I'm gonna start going on walks and start going to the gym. It does not have to be that big. And honestly, just doing small things for yourself, like just knowing yourself in a way, getting to know yourself, I think getting to know myself has been the most important thing in these past 3 months that has led me to at least 50% of peace of mind. And knowing what I would want to happen in my life, knowing to take care of myself on bad days, staying home on bad days, and kind of forcing myself to go out on other days, holding up promises to friends. Like, for example, 1 week ago, my friend invited me to something on Tuesday, which was yesterday. And yesterday I came home and I was so tired. I did not want to go. No part of me wanted to go because I was so tired and I just wanted to sleep. But as I've talked about in my other friendship-based episodes, I think you can't make intimate connections without showing up for people. And you can't expect to have deep and meaningful relationships with your friends while having a mindset of, oh, I don't owe anyone anything. Yeah, I need to take care of myself. See, taking care of yourself is not that. Obviously, I'm not talking about if you're having a mental fucking breakdown and then getting out of the house and just forcing yourself to be somewhere. That is not the same. By the way, sometimes when you are having a breakdown and you do go out, you feel so much better. Like, you feel incredibly better. And I've been really enjoying talking to people who know nothing about me and not even telling them anything about my own life, just talking to them about the fucking weather. It's been really enjoyable because it's kind of distracts you in a way that's not too avoidant, but in a way where you get to think about other things and other people's situations in their lives, and it kind of feels better in the moment than to just sit there and talk to your friend of 10 years about the situation that you've already dissected a million times. So where I am getting way too lost. See, this is why I need to start making little notes for myself for this podcast. Third coffee of the day. Damn. I forced myself, I got up, got dressed, and left my apartment and went to see my friend. And honestly, I did have a lot of fun. And at the end of the day, when I came home, I felt so much better about myself and my life. And you need to start appreciating the small things that you do for yourself and others. That's the only way your mindset or your peace of mind will grow. Because when I came home, in my own head, I kind of congratulated myself. Like, yeah, hell yeah, you held up your promise, first of all. And you do feel better. And you had fun. And now you're home and you can have your little chill time for a couple hours before you go to sleep. You need to start congratulating yourself on the dumbest shit sometimes. Because that's the only way that you can start trusting yourself again. And trusting yourself is very important. Breaking your own trust is what makes your life miserable sometimes. If you promised yourself to just organize your desk on the 19th of November, which is today, and you didn't do that, and then the 20th comes and the 21st comes and you still didn't do it, that kind of breaks your trust with yourself because you feel like a failure to yourself, and this leads to you not trusting your own actions in all areas of your life. And that's kind of what brings you back to a place of insecurity and a place of doubt and self-doubt. You don't have to start from something big, but when you start keeping your own little promises to yourself, like, yeah, today I'm going to go to bed at 11 p.m. Go to bed at 11 p.m. or 11:30. You know what? It's a start. These are minimal things there are minimal things you can do that will start building that relationship of trust with yourself. Because think of it as just building a relationship with another person. If they don't keep their word, if they keep flaking on you, if they keep putting seeds of self-doubt in your head, you're not going to want to date them. Why would you trust yourself, or why would you want to hang out with yourself if you don't trust yourself and if you're full of self-doubt and you don't keep the promises you made to yourself? Like, for example, if someone's a bad friend to you and you just keep going back to them and back to them and back to them and just hanging out with them over and over again, how are you supposed to feel safe with your own company? How are you supposed to feel safe making any decision in your life? So therefore, be kinder to yourself. Do more things that you know will make yourself feel better. And they don't even have to be the biggest things in the world. They could be just going out and getting a coffee. You don't even have to spend money. Make your own coffee. Go to the park. If it's raining, just light a candle. Get a €1 candle from the supermarket. It's the smallest things, and I promise you, when they build up, they do make a difference. They do. And personally, I'm currently learning how to live with my own company again, which I haven't done in a long time. And it's been kind of nice getting to know myself, feeling like I'm getting my personality back, feeling like I'm changing. And because for the longest time, I think I've been stuck on certain characteristics that I thought I had and that I couldn't change. And they're not even that big of characteristics. It's like, oh, I only drink white wine. And I was stuck with this. I was like, no, I don't like red wine. I hate it. No. Then I came here and then I drank some red wine. And then I was like, it's not that bad. I don't have to have certain things about myself that will never change. I can change them. Or for example, I used to only use pads. And then I started using tampons. And I was like, damn, thing about me has to be set in stone forever. Or for example, I only smoke menthol cigarettes. That's my whole thing. If you know me, you know this about me. I hate smoking normal cigarettes. Shouldn't smoke in general, guys. But anyways, then I ran out of my menthol cigarettes. I cannot find them in Milan. If you can, please let me know. Anyways, back to the point. Then I really craved a cigarette and I smoked a normal one. And apparently I can do that too. Like, this is not setting the best example, but I'm just trying to get across my point of, you don't have to be set in stone. You're a fluid human being. Some things about you can change, and that's a beautiful thing to have. It's great that you can change things about yourself, and you can change your mind about a lot of things, and then you can change it back. Honestly, to this day, I still prefer white wine, but on certain nights, red wine just tastes better, feels better, and I crave that too. It's okay. Hey guys, I'm currently editing, and I just want to explain something real quick. I hope that you get the fact that this is not about wine or cigarettes or tampons. I'm mostly saying all of this because I feel like sometimes we get so stuck on certain aspects of our lives and we refuse to change them or to have them changed in any way. So that was kind of my point. And like, you can start with the small things, and even you have some small things that you feel like you can't change about yourself, but you can, and they do change, and it's okay. And then these minor things may lead to bigger things, and that's also okay. And some things may not change. And yeah, so I just wanted to make that clear because I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea that I'm just talking about wine or tampons. I would advise you, no one's asking for my advice, but I am giving it freely. Don't come for me. But I advise you to spend whatever period of time, whatever era, I hate the word era, whatever era of your life you're going through, I advise you to just try and spend some time getting to know your own wants and needs and likes and dislikes. And I have class in 10 minutes now. And if you're wondering, it's dark outside, why do I have class? I have no clue. My class starts at 5:30 and ends at 7:30 p.m. pitch dark outside. The last life updates I would like to give before I leave is I went to a role model concert and it was so lovely, but I bawled my eyes out at one point, but it kind of felt good to let out all my feelings. And I went to Berlin, where my best friend in the whole fucking world lives. Shout out Elif. And yeah, it was like coming home, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. And I don't know if Elif watches my podcast, but I really missed kind of, as I said, I've been in a very unfamiliar space with people who do not know who the fuck I am for the past 3 months. So it was really nice to go back to something so comfortable. And even kind of like fighting around with her was kind of peaceful, because it felt like, oh yeah, whatever I say, it would, not in a mean way, but like, I don't have to over explain myself. I don't have to kind of perform my whole personality in the span of 5 minutes for this person to understand me, because she's just known me all my life, basically all my life. But yeah, so if you have really close friends that have known you guys for a long time, or not even known you for a long time, if you have really close friends that you feel very comfortable with, I would strongly advise you to appreciate them while you're in the same country, because then you move away and like me, you start sending them texts like a desperate ex and being like, do you miss me? Are you guys coming soon? I probably should go to my lecture now. I really hope you enjoyed this episode, and I really hope I edit this fast and post it as soon as possible. And I really hope that anything I said kind of made sense or resonated with you. And I really hope you have a nice week, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.